from that mistake and move on. So we will not do any mistake from another mistakes.
In next opportunity.
Next opportunity.
Super. Wonderful. Very, very nice. Can we have others to share? So I really want to see what is positivity in you, in your mind. What is that positivity is all about? Yes. Your name, please, again.
Sir, Syed Sana.
Syed Sana.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, please.
Sir, I think optimism is all about the way we think about ourselves. In a positive way, we should think about others also in the same way.
Wonderful. Wonderful. It's not just about thinking about others, and thinking about others also is something thinking positive, saying wonderful, super. Anybody else would like to share? Super. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll come back to you.
Yes.
Mithilesh. Super.
Positive thinking is a small sentence correction, sir. Instead of thinking that can I do, you should think that I can do. That's a small difference.
Wonderful. From can I to I can is something that positive thinking means. Wonderful. Super answers. Yes, please.
Sir, actually,
Your name, please. I'm sorry.
My name is Bhagyashree.
Bhagyashree. Yeah, please.
Sir, actually, I think positive attitude or these all things is the way we think, the view we see in our surroundings. If you take an example of a half glass of water, if you see the glass of water as a half empty glass, then you are thinking negatively. If you see it as a half full glass of water, you are thinking it is positively. Means the way you see it comes at life.
Super, wonderful. So, half full, half empty is something that it's a reflection for somebody to understand whether they're thinking positive or negative. Okay, let me talk about the importance of thinking positive. Okay, a lot of people say that, how many of you like cricket here? Almost all of you except for girls, few of them. Okay, even I love cricket. Okay, I love cricket. I love playing cricket rather than watching. Somehow I play a lot of cricket. Now it's reduced a lot. The point here is let's take this example to cricket so that it's easy for all of us to understand. Thinking positive, you are a batsman. You're actually stepping to the crease and you're waiting for the bowler to come. Thinking positive is when the bowler bowls, I'm going to hit 6. Okay, this is thinking positive. I need to have a positive mindset. I'm hitting next ball which is coming for a 6. This is what I'm thinking, and I'm waiting. He threw the ball and I missed it. What is thinking positive here is not about I missed it or maybe I didn't hit it. It's about thinking that there is one more ball to come. Now, over expectation is I'm going to hit next 6 balls for 6s. No, don't even think of next 6 balls. Now, your thinking should be I have one more ball, one more option too. Life throws you options every single day. Every single day. So this should be your mindset from now on. Irrespective of what career you're selecting. Like how I have told you, my point here is to actually train you or maybe change your being. The being has to be changed when it comes to positive thinking. Your thinking has to be completely changed to that attitude. I'll have one more opportunity. This is not the only opportunity. I'll have one more opportunity. But not before that opportunity. Before you face that opportunity, don't think that I'll have another opportunity. That becomes laziness. It's not positive thinking. Am I clear on this?
Yes.
Does it make sense? So because I thought maybe all of you have to come back to class because one row is not clapping. I just thought maybe let's look at them also clapping. Okay, so point here is before even the bowler throwing that ball, if you think that I'll have another ball, this over has 6 balls, then that's not positive thinking, that's laziness. You have to think that now, of course, I'm going to hit 6. That is the positive mindset. But even if you miss, thinking about another opportunity is positive thinking. For all of us, here is a great thing. Okay, I've seen few children, especially when they go for this, placement cells and all that. When they get an opportunity for one of the companies who come to the your college and then interview you, the moment they miss, they lose the confidence. They lose the confidence because they start thinking something bad about themselves or maybe something low about themselves. Again, let me tell you, it is not about you. Are you capable of maybe getting that opportunity in that particular company? Doesn't matter. What matters here is, are you confident of that or not? Are you thinking in a right way or not? If you don't think you are capable of getting that opportunity, maybe you'll not. Majority of the times you will not, because you yourself is completely not ready for that particular job. So this is what, whether you know or not, this is what an interviewer always looks at you and try to observe if you have that thing or not. Imagine if you are getting into entrepreneurship, that our friend has shared that he wants to get into entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship needs a lot more positive thinking than any other thing that you have, because every time maybe you'll see certain challenges which are throwing at you. What you need to do is you need to actually look at every opportunity with a lot of positive intent and thinking that yes, of course, I'm going to go and hit this. I'm going to get this particular opportunity. And even if you miss it, you know that no, I'm going to get the next opportunity. Now I've learned something from this particular opportunity. Let me look at the next opportunity with more maturity and also get this opportunity. Every single opportunity when you're facing, even if you miss that opportunity, you have to go out of it with maturity. What is maturity? Learning something out of every single opportunity that you're learning. Why? I'm sure that all of you have this experience. Whenever you study 10th class, you feel like, oh my god, 10th class, this, the subject is really tough and everything is taking a lot of time for me to understand. But imagine if you come to intermediate second year, 10th class books looks easier for you. Is that true for all of you?
Yes, sir.
In life, it's not about just studies. Even in life, if you see, my year 2020 looks very easy for me in 2022. And I feel like, that problem I could have easily handled. Why is it, I couldn't handle that problem with a lot of, easy, maybe, with a lot of knowledge. The point here is you are more matured now. You're matured. When I say you're matured, you've gone through an experience and you've learned something out of that experience and now came to a different stage now. Now you feel that experience is easy because of the maturity. Are we actually learning that or not is something which is very, very important for us. Positivity comes from maturity also. Every single opportunity that you have lost should actually teach you something. You have to learn from that and then get into the next opportunity. Then thinking positive makes sense, and you can say that I am thinking positive rather than telling that I am thinking positive. You're thinking that maybe you're thinking positive, but a lot of times it is not positive thinking. Sometimes you're thinking bluntly that I'm going to do it. Don't just say bluntly I'm going to do it, but say with a lot of maturity, because I've learned now I'm confident because there is something in my mind. I want to hit it. This is thinking positive. I think as human beings, it's not just about maybe as a student for you. As human being, we want to learn this particular thing in every single step of our life. Positivity is something that you can't leave and live. You have to live with it. I've heard another statement, which is a beautiful statement. I don't know whether you've heard or not. Positivity may not guarantee you success, but negativity guarantees failure. So what is better? So that's very simple, okay, straightforward answer, which is positivity is the best thing. So now what is that we have to do? Okay, all this lecture is good, KVT, we like this, and then maybe we all need to be positive. Even we know that even before you walked into this room, but what is that we have to do? Like one of our friends just shared, what is that you have to, in every single step you have to start practicing thinking positive. Maybe after this session, when you're going out from this particular room, few of your friends will come and share that I would have got a lot of these kind of messages from YouTube. Or maybe all this is for listening, all this is okay, but for practicing it's not easy. Let people say whatever they want to say, but you be positive. Try and test yourself. How can you counter that particular point when somebody is sharing like, hey, this is not going to work? Can you counter that particular point by saying, no, it is possible? No, it is possible. Can you counter that? If you're countering that, then you should also think about if you're saying that it is possible, how is it possible? You should start thinking about how is it possible also. Can we do that?
Yes, sir.
Can we start practicing it? I'm not telling you any context here. Irrespective of which context it is, We have to start practicing it in every single step of our life. Start countering every negative thought which is coming, or maybe start countering every negative person you're meeting. If they're sharing something, counter it. Sometimes you don't even have to literally talk, but in your mind, you have to counter it. Maybe a few of them will come to you and throw a negative thought to you, not to just win over the topic, but just win over you. If somebody is throwing a negative thought to win over you, have you ever seen such people?
Yes, sir.
There are few people who will argue with us. It's not to get a victory out of the topic that you are discussing, but a victory on you. If the purpose is winning over you, you should actually withdraw. Because that's not the purpose. If you and me are talking on a topic, and I'm debating about that particular topic, and if I see your intentions are not debating about the topic, but debating on me, then I withdraw. There's no point. And I'm not here to win over anybody. But if I want to talk about a topic and win over a topic, I would love to do that. So now, when somebody is coming to you throwing a negative point or negative topic, don't try to win over them. Win over the topic, if you can. If you think that the person is throwing further negative topics only to win over me, then withdraw yourself, but in your mind, start giving the thought. No, this is possible. This is possible, but how also? You need to have clarity on how also. Am I clear on this? Does that make sense? Oh, that clap is not audible at all. Wonderful, super. So, are we clear that we need to be positive, and from now we're going to practice being positive? Are we clear?
Yes.
Are you all ready for that?
Yes, sir.
Ready for that from now?
Yes, sir.
So let's just start checking yourself. Okay, I'm not going to be here with you forever to check whether you are positive or not, but that's going to help you in getting some positive results in your life. Whatever the results you're getting in your life, the first point that you have to go back and check is, am I being positive or not? Maybe this is a kind of reflection on yourself. If you have any wrong results coming in regularly, maybe first point that you need to check is go back and check, am I looking at positive things or not? First point, okay. Second important change in being is thinking big. Thinking big is, I think, the need of the hour for all of us now. Because we have wonderful sharings from people, and especially your deans are also mentioned that, today if you see that India has become a place or maybe hub for a lot of new ideas, new creative ideas, which are now getting into new companies and getting into new establishments. That's something that you can see off late. Earlier we used to see all those large companies used to come from either US or maybe Western countries, but today it's happening from India. All thanks to a lot of investing companies, angel funding companies. They are promoting it big time by saying, okay, we are there with money for you. You just come with the idea and show that you are capable of taking that idea to a business model. Because of that, we have a lot more ideas coming up in this country. And I've seen, I personally involved in a lot of startups, and I mentor a lot of startups. And I've seen, you don't believe the kind of ideas which are coming in because of a lot of non-disclosure agreements that I've signed. I can't share a few ideas with you, but they're going to be game changers in certain fields. In certain fields, they're going to be game changers. Why all these ideas have come into existence today? Because there's somebody who started thinking big, who started absolutely thinking big. So we all have our own career ideas, or maybe our own ideas about our life. But what we need to have is, it's not just about what actually can happen because of me or maybe with me. So today if I'm studying engineering final year, I can either think like, okay, maybe I'll have to complete and then maybe go for higher studies. After studies, maybe I'll have to join a company and then maybe earn good salary, or maybe grow in that company from an executive to maybe associate vice president or whatever it is. That is one of the ways that I have to think. And second side is, what can I do with this life? What's the maximum I can do with this life? That is something that we all have to start thinking. whoever is the successful person that you can call him as, okay? You can take one company and go to the owner of that company, the founder of that company, and start reading their life story. They also sat in one of the classes that you're sitting today. Am I right in saying that? They are also having friends just like how you have friends. They also have the social media that you have today. They are also exposed to everything that you have. In most cases, that's absolutely true. Maybe in a lot of cases, they may not have even the comforts that you have today. They may not. You can actually go and read those stories. That's why we have such kind of great facility in your college also. Read these stories and try to understand where have they come from, or maybe where have they started their life from. Then you understand what are you capable of. They're all just like us. They're all absolutely just like us. There's no difference at all between us and them. The only difference that between you and them is thinking big. They are not thinking about their life, or maybe how much salary they can get, how much money they can get, what kind of comforts they can have, and what kind of lifestyle they can have. No, beyond that. Is there anything beyond that? Well, a lot of things beyond that, which is what is my capacity as a human being? Your capacity as a human being is something nobody can match. Because you're created here to do something really miraculously big. But what are we stopping? What is stopping that particular miraculously big is our mindset. And that's why I said maybe within ourselves something has to change so that we understand where we can go. And we are actually trying to do that, becoming that big in our life. I've heard this story again, because since you also said that you love stories, I'm sharing this story. There is this, one farmer. He was actually farming in his land, and he's a poor farmer. He was always living his life looking at the rich guys of that particular village. Rich guys having big bungalows and maybe good lifestyle and all that, big cars and all that. He was looking at them and he was always cursing by saying, okay, why didn't I have all these things? Why am I not that big? Thinking all these things, one of those days he is actually doing farming work in his farm. Suddenly, what happened one of those days, he found a lot of gold in his land, the small land he has. It's just a half-acre land, but a lot of gold under his land. He is trying to take out that gold, and as he is trying to take out the gold, he is getting furthermore gold, a lot more gold in the land. And he started taking out and making it money. With a lot of money, what can he do? Of course, everything changed. Everything just changed. He used to have only one half-acre land and maybe a pair of horses and just a small hut. This is what he had. He doesn't even have clothes for every single day. For 1 week, only one set of clothes. That's what he has. Now everything changed because of gold. He is trying to convert all the gold into money and started buying all the stuff that he was dreaming for. Every time he used to look at others and see that, oh my God, what kind of lifestyle they have. And from there, he started buying all those things. First thing what he did was, he started buying a lot of clothes, good clothes for him. He started wearing them and he is so happy for that. And what he did next was, he built a big house, a bungalow. I think that's the best in their village. Hundreds of people started coming to his house to work for him. His entire lifestyle changed overnight. And he bought best of the best automobiles, Rolls-Royce car. Started going in the village, surprisingly, one of those days when he was going in the village, he was in the driver's seat. He was in the driver's seat and the vehicle was moving. And he used to turn right and say that, hi Akka, how are you? And turn left and say that, hi Tamdu, how are you? And because though he's become big, he's still that good-hearted poor farmer only inside. And he sometimes used to turn completely back and wish everybody who's going. Surprisingly, when he was doing all these things, his focus was not there on driving, right? He never met with accident. He never met with accident, surprisingly. Why is it? It's not because of his goodness. Because the Rolls-Royce car that we are talking about is being pulled by 2 horses the earlier day. You know why? Though he had the best of the best automobiles in his life, he doesn't know how to ignite the car. Though there is thousands of horsepower sitting under the bonnet, he's still relying on 2 horses he had. Maybe this is the story of a lot of us sitting here. This is absolutely the story of a lot of us sitting here. Inside us, there's a lot of horsepower. I don't know what are the units that we have to measure that horsepower. If you have to think about that horsepower, you just need to do only one thing by saying how to ignite that horsepower. If you can ignite that horsepower from here, becoming whatever, I don't want to really take any names here. Elon Musk, that guy, this guy, I don't want to take any names, I want to take your names. I want you to take your names in one of those people. That can happen only when you start igniting yourself. Start igniting is nothing but start thinking big. There is something really big waiting for you. Don't limit any of your thinkings to anything small. You're not cut for small things at all in your life. You cut for very, 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 very big things in your life. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
How many of you are ready for it? All of you, right? So again, like how I said, just shared with you about thinking big, thinking positive. This thinking big is also everything about your attitude. It shows your attitude. When you're thinking big, I don't know how many times you will see. And I don't know how many times you will go to maybe a campus interview, come up with an idea and start working that idea. Or maybe thinking like becoming a politician. I don't know what politician you want to think. If I were you, I would think of Prime Minister only, nothing less. Prime Minister is not a direct role where I can go and jump onto Prime Minister's chair and sit that tomorrow I'll become Prime Minister. That won't happen. Of course, there are a lot of, milestones that you have to achieve. Maybe as simple as a counselor to one of the streets, and then from there you have to grow. I don't know what are the steps, but your thinking should be, okay, I'm going to reach there. If you're starting a company, your thinking should be, when can I go into public limited company? When can my shares also there in the shares listing? Your thinking must be something big. If thinking about the company, you're joining a company, or maybe you want to become an employee of one of the companies, think about something really big, best of the companies that you really want to get into. Nothing small, because you cut for something big. Don't even look at, okay, my studies are not saying that I'm good enough for any big companies. No, that doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter. Like how I said, I'll go back and repeat the same statement. It's not about what you have, it's all about what you do with what you have. It's not about how much you have. Your certificates will not certify you for you to become something big or maybe crack something big in your life. What becomes something big in your life? What makes you become something big in your life is all about your thinking. Are you ready to think really big? Think big in every single step. Again, that is a kind of challenge for you. From here, whenever you're doing something, always try to think big. Don't think anything small. Only think big. Those of them who have reached, because I am somebody who reads a lot of books, okay. One of the habits that I have for sure is book reading. I keep reading about success stories, I keep reading about failure stories, I keep reading about a lot of such stuff for me to understand how these people have achieved something really that they've achieved in their life. What made them to achieve this